Russell Brand on Radio 2, that there with the Sex Pistols, Holiday in the Sun. I'm in Hawaii. Have you got some sort of Hawaiian jingle there, Matt Morgan in London?
Yes, we have. I'm just queuing
Go on
it up.
then. See, why do you not anticipate these things?
I don't know. It's just more laid back.
Yeah. Nice. So,
I thought you were going to do something with that. You've asked for it. Come on.
What do you think I'm going to do?
Riff on it!
Oh, you know what it's like when you're in Hawaii and you see a hula girl or something and coconut falls on your head. Here, do you know they chop coconuts down out of... Turn it off now, Matthew, I'm finding it disturbing. Right, you know they take coconuts out of the palm trees in case they kill people. So even the idea of a lovely coconut tree, that is potentially a death trap.
Really?
So, yeah, so when you think I'm living it up, they're pretty high, mate. They're 12 foot. And do you know a pineapple don't even grow out of a tree? They come emerging out of the ground like mole rats mewling at the sun.
I'm not going to trust them again.
Don't eat pineapples, baby! Let me tell you. They'll destroy you all. So it's going to be a hell of a show this week, right? I'll be telling you about my experiences in Hawaii. That include this week surfing, more surfing. I'm developing a bruise across my rib cage, and I've seen a turtle thing swimming about. And also I've developed what can only be described as some sort of gay crush on Mikey, the surf instructor. He's some sort of windswept, gorgeous man god thing.
What?
He's lovely, Matt.
Is it sexual?
Well, I don't think it's sexual. I don't know. You judge some of the things I think while I'm looking at Mikey. I think things like this. Oh, Mike, hold me. Mike, you are Poseidon, god of the sea, guiding me over the sputum of the ocean. And then, right, because he does things like, right, I have to surf laying prostrate on my, or prostrate. I always get mixed up with that, which is a shame because we did that campaign to tell people have a dig round up their back passages, case of an illness. Right, prostrate on the board. Mike, sort of, he lays down behind me with flippers on, right, pushing the
I'm sorry, I think I've heard enough.
Then he goes, paddle, Russell, paddle. And then I just paddle for all I'm worth, Matt. And like, sort of, I paddle all like mad, then I have to hop up onto my knees on the surfboard, and I don't know, I just, you know, it's like, you know how I got, when I used to get those limo bikes, you know, when you get picked up by a motorbike instead of a taxi, which just because of being on the back of that limo bike, I just sort of feel like I was their sort of girlfriend a bit, you know, it just would make me feel vulnerable.
Sounds
and
like
I think it's like that.
Mountain.
It's a bit like Brokeback Mountain. I've suggested to him that the two of us, to really push the surfing up to the next level, go on a little camping weekend.
Oh dear.
Just leave on Friday.
So is, what is he, sort of big blonde rugged man?
Yeah, he is blonde. He looks like he's made out of leather and weather. Blonde hair he is, the smell of sea ever about him. A lovely laugh. He was in a water polo team, and he spent time in the Special Forces as well. I thought, oh, you would apply some Special Force to me.
You are in love with this guy.
I'm just feeling a little, I don't know, Matt. Maybe it's the sunshine. Maybe it's the coconuts. I don't know what's doing it, but something's making me feel all sorts of crazy emotions for Mike.
Why don't you make a move on him? Why don't you...
What, just suddenly, I don't know, how do you go about something like that? You know, if you're in a situation when you've got a crush on someone, sort of a burly, butch, sort of surf instructor, and you're both heterosexuals, how do you make a move?
I reckon what you should do is go, oh, I've been stung by a jellyfish. Max, suck the poison out. Would you save me?
Mike, you wouldn't leave me dying here, would you? In the ocean. I'm full of jellyfish poison all in my groin. Suck it out, Mike.
Oh, no.
That's it, then sort of stroke his hair. That's it, you're a good girl, aren't you? So slap him and that.
Yeah, but you can't dominate Mike.
No one can dominate Mike, Matt. Mike dominates the oceans. He is a king above the elements themselves. So yeah, so that, I've been doing them surfing lessons with him. Have you learned any surfing
though? Because it just sounds like you're
I've
cooing
learned
over
what
some
it
bloke.
is to be a man. I've learned what it is to have feelings. Who cares for surfing when you feel such forces within you? There's an ocean inside my heart, and its name is Mike. No, I've learned a bit about surfing. Right now, I can lay on my belly on a surfboard. I can sit up on a surfboard as long as I'm constantly aware of the ocean moving beneath me. And I can hop up onto my knees for a brief period as well.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
That sounded quite cynical, Matt, as if you're not really impressed by
You
my
basically can lay on a board and kneel on it.
As long as Mike's there, clutching the back end of it, I can do anything. I'd follow him to the ends of the earth, I would. So it's going to be a hell of a show today. We're going to, we'll probably talk to people's answer machines, because everyone in England's asleep, because this is pre-recorded. Noel Gallagher, I'll ring his answer machine. And Tim Westwood going to come and talk to you, Matt.
Well, I think he's going to phone up and talk to you.
What do you mean? Phone me up here and...
Why is he going to come here and talk to me? What, am I in trouble for using his noises?
Yeah, interfering with his bum noises. Ridiculous way to behave. Was he alright about that answer phone message we left him?
I think so, yeah. I think he was amused.
On last week's show, we left a message for Tim Westwood, because we're doing our show from Tim Westwood's studio. We interfered with all of his buttons. Any of you that are listeners to Tim Westwood's show will know that he's not a man who has his buttons tampered with lightly. He's a very private man. I once accidentally brushed against his inner thigh and he very nearly bit my ear off. So we've got some lovely emails here. Do you remember, Matt, last week that we spoke briefly about Brian Harvey running himself over? Brian Harvey, formerly of E17, running himself over in his own car. This person here, Joshua Spencer, says, I looked up the incident because I was curious about it. I found it confusing. And amidst all the rumours of him, Brian Harvey, being drunk or drugged behind the wheel, it was eventually confirmed in a statement from Harvey that the reason that he had difficulty with the car is because he had eaten too many jacket potatoes and felt a bit sick.
What?
How many jacket potatoes would you have to eat before you even considered running yourself over?
I don't know, but it defeats the laws of physics anyway, so...
Unless jacket potatoes operate as some sort of portal to a parallel world where you can run yourself over 5 minutes after you've got into your car.
I think
don't see how
Brown was using jacket potatoes in Back to the Future.
I think the flux capacitor was simply complicated jargon for a jacket spud. 15 gigawatts! Right, okay, so yeah, what we'll do, we'll talk to Tim Westwood later on the show. Thank you very much for all your supportive emails, and because I mentioned that I was at the Turtle Bay Resort in Hawaii, now Turtle Bay Resort in Hawaii hotel switchboard and email is jammed with messages of lovely support, making my fame slither across the ocean like a black cruel mist of fame. Glorious fame! Oh, yeah, it's better, though.
Isn't your hotel annoyed with you? Because now you're just some anonymous bloke who's getting a lot of emails.
Who is this pervert? Yeah. Yeah, they just think I'm some sort of web pest, which isn't too far from the truth when you think about it. Yeah, but look, let's have a look at some of these letters of support. Here, this is from Tony Bradbury. Hello, Russell. I'd just like to say I always eagerly anticipate your podcast. I am a taxi driver in Barnsley, and alright, I'm a taxi driver in Barnsley, and your podcast goes down a treat with my customers. It soon shuts pissheads up when they hear what's coming through my speakers. Russell Brand and Matt Morgan go down the treat in Barnsley. Hope it's not too hard for you out in paradise making your big film, you poor bugger. Hope it's not too hard for you. Thanks for the laughs and keep up the good work, the two of you. Tony Bradbury at J&M Taxis. He's advertising his taxis. If you're in the Barnsley area and you do require a taxi, why not use J&M Taxis? Please don't listen to the rumours that Tony Bradbury is a dangerous pervert who spends all of the... All right, Tony Bradbury's not a dangerous pervert. He's a lovely man. I'd love to be in the back of his taxi. I'd be sick all over his seats. Right here. And also, right, I'll be telling you about horse riding. There's been more horse riding adventures. There's been Sunburn adventures. But can we listen? I'd like to just play, other than a little bit later when I've got a special treat for you, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Are you excited about this, the nature of this treat?
Yeah.
Well, we shall be talking
to... some more of your rubbish T-shirts? Your cast-off clothes? No, you've moved on.
Once in a while, when I discard some of my clothing, I do like to give Matt Morgan first dibs. Now, that ungrateful boy has described it as, what did you say, it's like a jumble sale for the blind, or something of that sort.
Jimmy Somerville's jumble sale, I would say.
A gay jumble sale.
It's all pink writing over everything.
I was having a difficult time. This was even before I met Mike, the Surf King. Listen, let's listen just to English music, except a little while later in the show
British
when we'll
music.
be talking... Oh, British, yeah, sorry, I do get caught up in that. It's ever since I became a fierce racist. I am not a fierce racist. I believe that we live on a little village called Earth, and, you know, and the universe, really, belongs to all of us, and we are all one and all that sort of stuff. You know what I'm into, except when I'm on holiday, when I turn into Enoch Powell. Right, okay, so, yeah, we're going to be talking to a genuine American musician who is doing the soundtrack. Yeah, imagine that, I've captured him here. He does the soundtrack to this film that I'm in, what's called Forgetting Sarah Marshall. He's doing the soundtrack and he's teaching me how to sing. I will be talking to him about the process of teaching me how to sing and about music in general. I think we're all going to learn an awful lot. But other than him, we'll just have British music, right? So now, this isn't a Dead End Street by the Kinks because it makes me feel all fierce. That was the Kinks' Dead End Street. You're listening to Russell Brand on Radio 2. I'm here in Hawaii. Perhaps Matt Morgan there in London could now play a little Hawaiian sounding jingle. Do you think there's any point?
No, I think we're over that.
Don't forget it. Yeah, we've done it. We've established the idea of Hawaii. What about the... there we are. That's what Hawaii sounds. I am actually... Hold on, where's that thing? That was the most listless attempt at creating an atmosphere on a radio show I've ever heard. You might as well have just done a blow-off into your cup
I'm still
and said it was
from,
a baby bird.
From the gay revelations, you know.
Listen, they're not that gay. They're just harmless crushes. Yeah, I've got a flowery thing round my neck. You know how they have in Hawaii?
Really?
Yeah, I've got one of them on. There'll be photos up on the website.
That is the equivalent of going to Spain and having one of them straw donkeys. I bet the locals hate you.
Yeah, when we arrived here at this Hawaiian radio station, they goes, "Oh, you've got those flower things around your neck." Well, that's offensive, and you're making light about it. On the website, you will be able to see photos of me wearing this flowery thing, should you so choose to look. Imagine that. Yeah, that's what the internet's for, ain't it?
I love the way you give a little bit back. Russell, are you still dressed as Jesus?
Yeah, I'm still dressing pretty much as Jesus. I mean, I'm dressing more in my conventional English attire for the radio show, actually, because it's a bit chilly in this Honolulu studio because of the air conditioning or something in my egg box studio thing. It's not actually egg boxes, it's foam, what reminds a man of Delbert Wilkins. I don't know if you remember the Lenny Henry vehicle from the mid-80s.
Yes, I do.
Well, it's a little bit like that. So, yeah, I'm dressed more in typical English attire now, but most of the time I am dressed in what I might describe as messianic.
You know.
What do you think Christoph died of?
I don't know what it was that Mark Fowler had, but they had a similar look in their eye.
Pretty sure that it was some sort of fish plague, some punishment from a vengeful fish god. Well, you know, I can only say Christoph brought this on. No, Christoph, oh no! Why did he have to go?
I don't know.
Take me! Take me! He had so much to give.
It was because he was put in bad water, like that lady told us. He was.
What,
that was
the
what
lady?
it was. He had a urine infection.
Really? A fish? How can a fish
Something
even
like
have a
that,
urine
anyway.
infection? Matthew, are you aware of these fish that will swim up your pee hole if you wee into the Amazon?
I've heard of
Yeah,
them.
well, wake up, mate.
Have they got them there?
They're air. Like there's no tomorrow, let me tell you.
Mikey, a fish has gone up there, mate.
Oh, Mike! Mike, me urethra's alive with fish! Clamp your jaws round it. Get him, Mike! Mike, you're not gonna let him boss me about like this, are you? You've made a fool of me, Mike. Take me to the beach. I shan't swim. Put me on your back.
Oh, dear.
Dear, oh dear, yeah. Actually, that's, if I do ever want to take the relationship up a level, that's obviously the perfect tool. Yeah, so we're down to number 3 now. So now in the podcast charts, please, loyal fans and listeners of this radio show, we know you number in your dozens. Will you please download the podcast? Because not only are we behind the Apprentice, it's kind of like the Apprentice, sort of, a little bit. It's Apprentice, you know. It's a sort of an Apprentice. The Apprentice, I happen to know for a fact, supports killing people in third world countries. That is the central message of it. And what's number 2 in the podcast chart?
I can't remember. Scott Mills. But they're video podcasts. That's why.
Right.
They're both video podcasts.
Oh, so we can only be beaten by this. So video did kill the radio star. Curses. What a perspicacious record it was. Right, Matthew, let's go video. Are you
How?
Scooby-Doo? Listen, why don't we? All we have to do is we'll get someone to film me over here in Hawaii and put it on the bleeding interweb.
Yeah, well, that would be quite easy, wouldn't it?
We'll be soaring up the charts in no time.
Can you do sort of you and Mikey, some sort of, you know, like film one of your surf lessons? How hard
film
would
a
that be?
surf lesson.
I want to see the on-screen chemistry.
The on-screen chemistry is pretty sizzling, let me tell you. Sometimes we ride the waves without so much as a board. So stiff are we down our trunky wonkies.
Oh.
Oh, it's a horrible image. I apologise for that to Jesus, to all the prophets, really. Okay, so, yeah. I want to be #1 in that podcast chart. We took it for granted, Matt. We were #1 for about 10 weeks, and we said that when we were #1, we would get an ice cream van and tour the country, bringing benevolence and glory and goodness wherever we went, and we did F all about it out of sheer sloth. Sloth, that's one of the deadly sins, you realise?
Yeah, but,
ain't it?
You know...
Why didn't we do anything?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we still can. We can get back to #1. You do a video of you and Mikey in love.
Right, okay.
Don't tell him what you're doing. Just say, oh, we're filming this. It's all above board.
Mike, how shall I approach this then? I'll just go up to Mike and say, all right, mate, yeah, I was just thinking of filming this swimming lesson a little bit. Would you mind lowering your trunks just for a moment? That's it. Oh, crikey.
Hey, do a Mooney. Do a Mooney. We're all lads together. Oh, hey. Look at that Mooney.
Oh, what a Mooney. Oh, we're such lads, aren't we? Doing our Moonies. Yeah, what'd be even more laddish would be if I was to slap you right on your moon.
Oh, right, I thought you were going to say something much worse.
It's good that you've
Send
got
a rocket to the Mooney!
It's a rocket visiting the moon! I'm Buzz Aldrin! I'm always second to come!
Oh, no!
Sorry! I'm sorry to Buddha!
So you should be.
I am, I apologise.
Nuke the island!
Don't say that, because we had Pearl Harbor here. Oh, not Pearl Harbor. That weren't as bad as Pearl Harbor. Yeah. Pearl Harbor. That was just what happened to some bumpkins. Hey, listen, right, I've got something important to go on about. Let's get us back to #1 in that podcast. Download the podcast. Buy new iPods, damn you, and download. Do you download the podcast, Matt? You idiot! Nor do I. I don't know how to do it.
I do. I listen to it I cut it.
Oh,
why would I then download it? Like some man with no memory. Yeah, I like that.
Who's this guy? He really got something. Hey, he speaks to me.
Russell, your choices of music which reminds you of home are rubbish.
What's wrong with them? London Boys by T-Rex, that's good.
Carnaby Street. The Jam.
Carnaby Street by the Jam, good.
I think you should have Going Underground by the Jam.
Going Underground? Alright, well, you know, why?
Because...
What musical choices have you got to remind me of England? And Britain, Europe,
London
the world.
Calling, The Clash. What else
Fair
have I got?
enough.
Motorcycle Emptiness.
Yeah, that's good, cool, yeah, that's alright, let's have that, definitely.
Magic Bus. The Who.
And Albion. I wouldn't mind listening to Albion. Baby Shambles. I hear he's having a hard time back there. Pete Doherty, the poor lad.
They did a secret gig yesterday.
How do you know?
Because...
Dun, 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 dun. Oi! Yeah. Okay, well, because it's already happened. He done a secret gig.
Well, is that Camden Crawl thing's on, isn't it? So.
Oh, right. Oh, the Camden Crawl there in Camden Town, London. Oh,
you've never
does that
been
still
to it,
happen?
I bet.
Oh, the Camden Crawl, Matt, every year I like to go along to that, boy. Oh, I have a lovely time, the Camden Crawl. No, I wouldn't miss it. Also, do you know what song I remembered very recently? It was the London Boys singing London Nights, where the party's riot and fever drives you wild. Do you remember that?
Yes. And that is...
bad, wasn't it?
Terrible. But that's what you're thinking about.
I think about it sometimes when I'm looking at Mike in the sea.
You're so homesick, aren't you? Do you think you and Mike could ever live over here? Do you think the sea would call to him like a manatee and he'd have to leave? You'd try and set up a life in London. He wouldn't
Come
like
on,
it.
Mike. Just, Mike, you just settle down and cook me a nice omelette. It's the sea, it's calling me. Yeah, he'd never be able to
He'd be
settle,
listening
not a wild
to a
man
big
like
shell.
Mike.
You'd come home from work. All right, Mikey, I've got some groceries. And he'd be like listening to a conch shell. Russell, I gotta go.
Cuddling up to a tortoise, trying to put it in a fish tank. It'd never settle. A man like Mike needs to be at one with the ocean, listeners. Never forget that. You can't make a whore a housewife. I believe it was NWA or perhaps Tupac that said. Who said that? You can't make... Snoop Dogg said it. Right. Okay, listen, why don't we listen to another one of my musical choices? I suggest, what do you suggest, Matthew? T-Rex. Come put T-Rex London Boys on.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I'd like to dedicate this to a very special surfer boy. And I hope that one day the two of us could be a couple of London boys living it right up. Oh yeah, we are the London boys. You're quite right to say that, T-Rex. You truly are London boys. You're listening to Russell Brand on Radio 2. Thank you very much for your emails over the past week. They've brought great comfort to me in my moments of solace and sometimes in moments of dark onanism. The very thought of people sending emails, sending wild sexual passion. Yeah, let's read just some of those lovely emails. This is from Kyla in Seattle, US of States. Hope things are going well for you in Hawaii. Just wanted you to know it doesn't matter in the world you are, you still have fans who love you. Oh, God bless you. Also, since you're in America, you can start your own new revolution without Matt and see how he likes being left out. Anyhow, keep up all the great work. Love the podcasts, even though I let them slip to number 3 out of sheer negligence. They bring so much laughter to my week. Thanks and best wishes. Thank you very much, Kyla, you lovely American lady. So, what was the important thing there? Oh, yeah, I can start a revolution over
Without
here.
me.
Not without you, Matthew. Christ, we'd need you for the Ministry of Defence or the Ministry of Curmudgeonliness or something. There's no way we could do a proper revolution without you. No. Here, there's another email here from Lizzie. Hey, Russell, hope you're having fun in Hawaii and Casper is being more cooperative. Casper is not, of course, the friendly ghost. Although, if someone has returned from death, I don't think it matters how garrulous they are. If someone goes, oh, I've recently died, would you care for a cup of tea? I wouldn't think, oh, what a friendly ghost. I'd think, bloody hell, everything I understood about being is untrue.
Do we know the backstory of Casper the ghost? Did they ever say, oh, he was a boy called Casper?
Hold on, Marsha, who is, as you know, my dear assistant and in my employ, is nodding her head. What is Casper the friendly ghost, Marsha?
Master? Oh, there's been a change.
Master,
am I allowed to ask you, Master?
If I get upon bended knee, will you answer my request about Casper? Yeah, listen, there's no doubt who's in control of my relationship with Marsha, my dear assistant, because earlier when we had to set the clock to time this radio broadcast, Matt said, you heard her scuttling about in this Hawaiian studio like a little church mouse going, oh, my ears and whiskers, oh, how do I set the buttons?
She was just being asked to time the show and she floundered for a long time.
Did she flounder?
I've never done this before. I don't know what to do. What do I hold? What do I press?
How do I press the button?
How does time work, Mrs. Grubbags?
What if time goes backwards? How do we know there is such a thing as time? If it bends out there in the universe, as Einstein said, what if this clock breaks? You stupid cow. Now, how did Casper die, Marsha?
I was never a Casper fan, so I have no idea.
You don't know how he died?
Why
did you
nodding?
get involved? She nodded her head and said she knew the backstory. If you know the backstory to the death of Casper the friendly ghost and why he's so friendly in spite of the fact that he died when he was apparently still quite young from his behaviour, then please let us know. russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. In fact, send us any messages of well-being. I can also be reached at the Turtle Bay Hotel, Hawaii. Just send me what you like. I like feeling popular.
Send Marmite there.
Send me Marmite and baked beans. I can't get enough of that lovely stuff. Okay, so this is an email. Oh, yeah, from Lizzie. Yeah, she's saying, hope you're having fun in Hawaii, and Casper is being more cooperative. Casper is the horse that I'm learning to ride for the film that I'm out here doing. Casper, the first week, I was a bit edgy about him, Matt. You know, he was a bit uppity, sort of ran around a little bit.
Yeah.
What made me worried, Matt? I know how many times have you done horse riding?
Once.
Just once, and I remember
Never again.
You describe them as big, muscly cowards.
Yeah.
Now, these horses that I'm riding, they're used to being trail horses, which means, you know, they're for the holiday makers that come to the resort where I'm staying. That means they just sort of trot along, not even trot, walk in a like little line, one behind the other. So they've developed a sort of herd mentality, right? So they're very comfortable. And also, the horse riding lady today said that the horses are like horse prostitutes, right? And look how far she stretched the analogy. She goes, oh, the horses that you're riding, they're like, my horse, it's only ridden by me, she said, with a glint in her eye and pride clear in her voice. She goes, but your horses, they're like horse prostitutes, because they have a different rider every day, and the relationships they have are transitory and meaningless and based on sort of fiscal exchange. Kept really, really building the analogy. Soulless riders just rutting about on top of them, snuffling and confused, probably because they've got an unhappy home life. Often they punch the horses. No, she didn't say that. That's the too far point.
Sometimes they just want to talk to the horse, though, don't they? Really, it's just companionship.
I don't want to ride you. Could we just cuddle for a little while?
My wife doesn't understand me.
Perhaps it's because, you know, she too is a horse and the English language is baffling to her. I should have thought that through, really, before I took the marital vows. Yeah, so she goes, they're like horse prostitutes. Well, this horse prostitute whore Casper that I was riding today, right? There was a bit where, not saying just the horse, right? Like, there's a bit where the lady in charge, Patty, she goes, oh, turn him onto the beach, will ya? Right? Because we're sort of galloping, because there's different words, right? Walking, that's just straight walking. Trotting, that means you're getting joggled around a lot. Canter, I don't see how there's one above canter, because canter feels like you're going at the speed of a train, that you've got no control over your life, and your genitals are being flung about, like, and just being smashed, pounded into the back of this horse, and you're meant to be focusing on your balance. I think, well, how can I focus on anything other than that my nuts is getting all right crushed up? Then above that, there's gallop, right? So I don't know what happens with gallop unless it goes some sort of sonar thing, unless you go through into another dimension. Anyway, right, so I was just walking on the horse. She goes, can you turn it round this way onto the beach? The other horses were sort of behind me, and because this horse prostitute upon which I was on the back, is only used to being in a trail. When I tried to turn it on the beach, right, it didn't want to go on the beach. So she goes, oh, just give it like a little kick, right? And I'm not happy kicking a horse, right? Even though I know that's what you've got to do and everything.
I think you're at your happiest kicking a horse, really.
Only when I remember the prostitute analogy. Oh! No, come on. So, no, I don't like kicking a horse, right? I feel uncomfortable with it. And, like, because also, you know me, Matthew, you see me, like, around animals or children, I tend to just let them be in charge of what they want to do themselves. Like, when I worked in that pub, right, kids from the estate over the road would come in, throw loads of ice about, and like, I'd just go, oh, stop it, boys, good chaps, come on, settle down, right, and like the other bar would go, get out of it, you little gits, right, and I'd get all really heavy with them. And it's the same with a horse. I just sort of think, well, if the horse really wants to go that way, you know, let it, right? But anyway, so she goes, give it a kick. I give it a kick, right? It reared up on its hindquarters like a praying mantis, just reared right up like it was trying to be a man, like the end of Animal Farm where the pigs decide to become like the farmer, reared right up, and like then I sort of just had to sit there, and there's women folk around me, the actresses from the film, the women from the horse riding expedition thing, all sort of around, shouting advice, oh, do this, touch his ears, tickle his belly, right? I'm just sat on it. Then, like, it got his foot all snaggled in the roots of a bloody banyan tree from the set of Lost, and then sort of sat itself down. I've been thrown, I was like a rodeo rider for about 15 seconds, and you know how time slows down when you're in a position of trauma, like dear Brian Harvey when he's had too many jacket spuds and he's getting run over by his own car, ridden by a shadow version of himself from yesterday morning. Like, time goes, it was all going all slowly, and then afterwards, because like I was the only person there that was a man, I couldn't, like, there was no one. If Mike had been there, I'd have been able to show my true feelings, but I just had to sort of go, they go, are you alright? Yeah, God, yeah, no, man, this is no problem for me.
Oh, yeah,
like,
this all sounds very dramatic, but I reckon if we watched it, it would just be a horse sneezing when a butterfly went near it. A butterfly landed on its nose, it went like that.
Yeah, well, that could cause an atomic war 100 miles away, according to chaos theory, and I think I was at the other end of it. It was proper bonkers, Matt. It was frightening, honestly, and then I had to go off doing more cantering with my nuts getting pounded. So now I've gone off Casper a bit.
Yeah, they are stupid. When I was on one, it got scared of a wasp, and it was completely...
Where's its dignity?
Yeah, I know, it was just a wasp was just hovering near its leg, and she was going, oh, it's all right, he's been scared of the wasp, and there's all people having to, like, control it. I was on it. It could have done anything.
Could just do what it likes. When it wants some dinner, it goes and has some dinner. If it don't want to go to the beach, it rejects it. If it decides to be scared of a wasp, it's ridiculous the way they carry on. Right here. So the email continues. I listen to the show every week, says Lizzie. Every week, it's very funny. Oh, you guys. I was listening to the podcast on my iPod on the bus to town. Oh, the bus to town. Oh, an image now as unfamiliar to me as the idea of General Zod firing a laser beam out of his nipple. What?
You haven't gone on a bus to town for years. You've changed what you think at home is. Oh, the bus to town. Every day I'd get the bus into my telly show. There I was. Sat there with my shopping. What a lie.
In the end, I preferred a private bus, just with a gentleman up front driving it. I don't know what his name was. Lovely chap, though. Yes, and then I'd get out of the bus into the lap of luxury. And who, though? Then those groupie people. I like those as well. Are they still they still there in Blighty, are they?
Yes, we're taking care of those.
Hey, you stay away from them groupies. Groupies? You would remain loyal to me. At all times. Remember, it's only my seed that can spawn the Messiah. Now then.
I thought you were the Messiah.
Yeah, well, probably Messiahs begat Messiahs, don't they? Otherwise, that whole Holy Grail quest's a bloody waste of time, ain't it? And the Knights Templar and all that rhubarb. If Jesus' seed ain't nothing but naught nor nothing. Anyway, this email carries on.
Thank God. Because the wheels have fallen off what you're saying.
Whee! I've gone proper mad! I've been away for 2 weeks, no one's asked to have their photo done with me. I've turned into Kurt from Apocalypse Now.
But gay.
Hey. Right, so yeah, all my friends have started a campaign to get your podcast back to #1 where it deserves to be. Who the hell downloads the Apprentice podcast anyway? Me and my friends are going to London in a few days. It'd be great where you can tell us the best place to get a pair of skinny jeans. Camden! Go to Camden to get skinny jeans. Me and my friend are going to see you do stand-up in Middlesbrough in July. It will be great. Hope the movie goes well. You won't have time to reply, but it'll be excellent if you could. Well, Lizzie, there you are. I have replied, and I, like you, like nothing more than to ride the bus and, you know, those chauffeur-driven buses I tend to prefer. Hey, so Matthew, do you want to play a song now, then?
Yes.
Okay, so later
but
on the show
it's actually a choice that you've told me to make. So, not quite how it works.
Why don't you have free rein, Matthew, to select any record of your choosing within the parameters? Why don't you now kindly select what you've been instructed to do?
Russell, what's this about you and a goat and a garden gnome?
Hogwash! That's what it is. Read it out. What is this, out of a tabloid?
In the Sun today, it says.
Go on.
I'm going to change the name of the band in this story because this is only here to promote this band, right?
Yeah, all right. What should we make up the name of a band?
I'll call him Casper.
All right then.
Right,
cool.
here we go.
Hold on, I don't want to promote him either. He nearly bucked me off today.
No, come on. At least he's got some balls.
Can't it be Mike's band?
Mikey. Is he Mikey or Mike?
Mikey is that Scottish twerp who we have there in London, fiddling with the buttons, looking all baffled and confused, like he's in a planetarium.
Okay, right. Russell's not gruff at goat. Doesn't make sense. Russell Brand got into trouble with telebosses when he helped smuggle a goat into a studio. He was filming a pilot for a new talk show, Russell Brand's Marvellous Ball Bags. Such a lie. His guests, rock band Mike, stopped at a field on the way, stole a goat, sneaked it into his dressing room, where it ate his clothes and pooed in his shoes. Instead of being angry, Brand, 31, thought it was hilarious and persuaded furious telebosses to let the animal stay. Mike, the band, had previously enraged Brand by stealing his garden gnome, but were invited on the show as part of a truce. You're not even in the country.
I'm not even in the country. There is no goats here. There's just cocoa nuts and palm trees and the like.
This story is set in England.
This is set in England. It's filthy propaganda to promote the band Mike.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't promote him with those pectoral muscles, with that glistening abdomen, with that wistful look forever playing about his eyes? Who wouldn't wish him a #1 hit?
He'll find out that you're saying all this.
Nonsense! How could he ever? Unless he were to listen to the podcast, which will get it higher in the charts. So, you know, and then perhaps with a #1 podcast, perhaps Mike could learn to love me. Could you ever love me, Mike?
Take him out for cocktails.
I'll take him for cocktails, baby. You know, now a list of cocktail names which have sexual connotations. Dun dun dun, slow comfortable screw, da da da, slippery nipple, etc, etc. That's what you'd get on another radio show. Not this one. This is the Russell Brand Show on BBC Radio 2. You can send us an email at russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. Later on we'll be talking to Peter Salette, who is doing the music on this film, what I'm doing now, and teaching me proper singing and that, because I have to sing because I'm playing a rock star in this film. Now, why don't we talk... Matthew, if you could listen to any record now, what the hell would it be?
It would be Motorcycle Emptiness by Manic Street Preachers. I like it a lot. I do like it. In fact, I told you about this song.
Motorcycle Emptiness there, which is just the sort of feeling that the Manic Street Preachers... What do they mean, motorcycle emptiness?
I don't know, but I imagine it's something...
It's probably explained somewhere in the lyrics. What, something to do with futility of living?
I don't know, maybe it's that thing of that, that book about motorcycles
Zen and the art of... Yeah, Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance.
I'll tell you what we do know about now, though. Casper.
Yeah?
I know how he died.
What, Casper the Friendly Ghost?
That's him.
How did that guy die? I've always been wondering.
He died of pneumonia. Which is hilarious.
That's terrible. Who wants that at the beginning of... Why is he so friendly for? Why ain't he all bitter and racked with angst?
Well, there's some weird stuff here. It says, like, there's a hell in Casper's world, so there must be a heaven, but he's not in heaven. He's just floating around having adventures. So he's clearly...
So he's bad, then?
Well, you know, he wasn't bad enough for hell, but he wasn't good enough for heaven.
Not good enough. Hey, that should be the title of our first album. If we ever make one, why wouldn't we, though?
Well, we're going to hear some singing from you later, aren't we?
I don't think we'll hear singing from me, because I don't have to do no singing. Peter Salette is here. He's scoring the soundtrack to this film. I think scoring the soundtrack's probably the wrong sort of nomenclature. To this film I'm doing, forgetting Sarah Marshall. He's done other soundtracks and all. He's a musician and that over here in Meriki. So we'll talk to him. We can talk to him about his own career. But as you obviously are well aware, I'll be constantly trying to turn the conversation round to me. So, what have we got to talk about here? Oh yeah, here's some emails. Dear Russell and Matt, you guys totally rule. You're famous in Canada. Well, 2 people know you. Does that count? I love the accents you guys put on every 3 seconds in the show. These are our accents. This is from Zan Rathor. I listened to your Zan Rathor?
That sounds brilliant.
He's some sort of evil villain. Zan! You will do my bidding, or I will just crush you. Well, Zan Rathor says, look, he's going to start an army of, Brandonites. That's
wow,
alright.
That's good. With that name and Brandonites.
Yeah.
He's the sort of person who might one day block out the sun.
Zan Rathor could block out the sun if it took his fancy ever. Crikey, God knows. Zan, thank you for your support there in Canada, because I'm going to the Montreal Comedy Festival, and if I'm not mistaken, Montreal's in Canada, so the support of Zan Rathor will be very welcome. Dear Russell, says Catherine in Oxford, after hearing you grumble that your fame in England has no currency in Hawaii, I thought I'd inform you that you're still in British magazines, she exclaims. I see a photo of you in Heat magazine last week, looking very happy about something at LAX airport. You had the biggest picture on the spotted page. So, the spotted page, the most lowly of all the pages in Heat magazine.
What about that time you were spotted, you were in that... That's just a list, isn't it? When you... What was that about, Russell? Could you just remind us?
I don't really rightly remember, Matthew, what that was about that time.
The huge fart that you did at Heathrow Airport and it got spotted and put in a magazine.
Someone spotted my flatulence. It was so powerful it developed its own personality. It became an entity in its own right.
It's still doing a column in Heat, actually, that fart. It's
doing rather well.
Very acerbic.
I hear it's number 4 in the podcast charts. We better watch out. That guy's ambitious. Dear Russell and Matt, says Jennifer from New Jersey. See, we've got all sorts of fans in America. I'm a listener from New Jersey, and I love your show. Don't be sad that no one knows you in Hawaii. Did I come across a bit pathetic in the show last week?
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's okay. That's what I was aiming for. You're well loved here on the east coast of the States. No one is famous in Hawaii unless you're on that program Lost, in which case you can't get 2 steps out your door without being bothered. Interesting.
Hey, you should go and see Harvey, the guy from Lost, the big guy. He came on the MTV show, didn't he?
Oh yeah, when we used to do the MTV show, yeah. He was that big fat fella. Harvey was
You said fat!
So what? Who cares? Who's going to stop me? The government? The Catholic Church? I'd like to see them. Fat, 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 fat.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Why?
Maybe he
He's
doesn't
alright,
know
he'll be
he's fat.
comfortable. How can he not know? What does he think he's doing when he's putting on his trousers, occupying a tent? Oh no! What have I said? No! Harvey. Hold on, let me write a quick record. It's about a little guy called Harvey. Harvey, I love you. There's nothing wrong with your weight. Harvey, I love you. I want you to be my mate. Oh Harvey, you're the best thing that ever is on Lost. Oh Harvey, I'd like to, I don't know, make you come.
Toss you off.
No. Toss you off. Perfect. That's fine. That does as a lovely rhyme there. Now, if that doesn't soothe Harvey's troubled ego, I don't know what will. Here, I bumped into the wife of a cast member from Lost today. The Scottish one from Lost. Who's the Scottish one?
And that's rubbish. You don't know his name, and it was only his wife.
Well, yeah. Well, this ain't dropping a name. I'm dropping a reference. Yes, I said dropping. So what?
You've invented
so
some
not
wonderful
perfect.
new words, haven't you? Is this yours
Yeah.
and Mikey's love language over there? I'm going to drop you.
Mikey, if I drop you, will you take me to Pearl Harbor? Please, Mikey. Oh, how they glisten. Yeah, so, I am inventing a language. Well, pearls do glisten, don't they?
Oh,
What else
yes,
would a
of
pearl
course.
do? Come on. This is from Rebecca. I'm a fan of you. Here, governor! Crikey, strike a light, apples and pears. I've got a letter here from someone called Rebecca. I'm a big fan of yours, living in the United States. I'm a college freshman here. What is a freshman when it's at home?
Someone who's just gone there.
We'll find out later from Peter Salette when he comes on here what a freshman is. He's an American. And I don't have much money, says Rebecca, but I would love to come to England and see your live gigs. I've been listening to your podcast, and every time I do, it makes me want to be there. I don't have a job. Oh, dear.
She's a student.
All right, because my college won't let me work in my chosen field during school. What, do you want to be, a farmer? If you suggest some ways that I could make enough money for a plane ticket, I would be eternally grateful. As
Oh,
conversation
yeah.
I can offer you. Well, just come over. We'll pay for you, girl. I'll pay for a night out on the town at my favourite bars in New York City. Dearest love, Rebecca, and her phone number. Hello there.
What?
What about that? Yeah, but everyone sends their phone number and emails. It's not come on, is it?
No, I
It's
thought it
just
was
being-
she'd
that's-
written from Rebecca and her phone number. Like her phone number was a little person that went through life with her.
Yeah, but like, I suppose in a way, your phone number, you break it up in a certain way, don't you? You know, it becomes sort of a friend to you, in a way. I mean, say you say your phone number to someone, and you do the rhythm, it's 383, diddly-I-chai, diddly-I-chai-chai,
Yeah.
and then they say it in a different way. I feel a great deal of wrath towards
Yeah,
that
that's
person.
true, actually.
Yeah, why can't they simply say it back in the same way? Right, so this is Russell Brand. If you want to email us, you can at russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. I'll be talking to Peter Salette a little bit later. He's scored this soundtrack of the theme tune for this programme that we're doing here. And tell us about anything at all, really. Just, you know, just go on about your own lives and feelings. Matt, why aren't we doing Cry for Help, helping people there?
Because I
it's
think
too early in the morning.
I think that's gone the way of our little fishy friend.
What? We don't like that item no
Yeah,
more?
sort of, you know, it's an organic
We've gone beyond
process. Yeah.
Yeah, but it gives us a chance to talk to listeners.
I thought you were going to read out emails of people saying don't be homesick. But they're all
right.
American people. I thought you wanted British people going, oh, Weetabix and things.
Hold on, here's one.
But we've got to have the
Dear
news
us.
soon.
All right, we'll have some news. What do you want? You know, Yeah, we're living in the world. Look out your window. What's going on? So, here's one. Dear Russ and Matt, don't be homesick. I'm just in England having some Weetabix now.
Made up.
Or, no, it's not. Or you could have Oatabix. Now, me personally, Russell Brand, I'm against Oatabix because Weetabix, that's a word that we've had since childhood. And do you remember them adverts when the Weetabix were portrayed as little skinheads? Okay, I liked them. Now, what's these Oatabix?
They're
What do they want from
They're
us?
actually very nice. And also, they're not... It's Wheat-Abix, oat
Yeah.
E-Bix with an I. Okay?
Oaty-Bix.
So step back from the mic.
Step back from the mic, it's too cold.
Right, let's have some
listen.
news.
What now?
You think that Oaty-Bix and Weetabix debate is news. It's not.
Surely this is current affairs enough. Oaty-Bix or Weetabix? It's
Conservative,
up to-
Labour, Jews, Muslims. Oaty-Bix, Weetabix more like.
That's what's tearing this country asunder. I'm an Oatabix man myself. My daughter tried to marry a Weetabix freak, and that's why I had every orifice in her body sewn shut. Here's the news.
At 10 o'clock, this is Andrea Simmons. Detectives in Leeds.
Well, right then, that were Albion by Baby Shambles. Before that, there was a little bit of news with Andrea Simmons, who I believe has very graciously forgiven us here on Radio 2. Listen to Russell Brand. Andrea Simmons has forgiven us, hasn't she, Matt?
Yes, but I don't think we should talk about it too much.
Right, because you think we might make it worse. Well, all I will say then is, Andrea, thank you very much for your compassionate forgiveness of our childish behaviour, particularly Matt, who was very much the ringleader. And that's the end of the situation, in my view. OK, so I've got a few emails I just wanted to read out. Also, I wanted to say that we love Scottish, Welsh, Irish people, everyone from Europe, just general love, you know, because in case the people think we're fetishising England a little bit too much on this show. Few more emails. This is from Sue. She goes, I hope that horse is behaving itself, because she'd not yet heard about Casper's violent attack on me earlier, which actually was captured on video, so we might be able to get, yeah, for the DVD extras for the film I'm doing. So yeah, one day you will be able to see the horror that I went through. Anyway, she continues to Sue, saying, in London it is sunny and the trees are coming into leaf. Prince William and Kate have split up, have they?
Yes.
Well,
have
what's
you
going
really
on?
not read a paper?
I can't get the papers over here. It's been murder.
No, they've split up. He's seen someone else, apparently.
He's seen someone else?
Look, it's still very painful for us all here. We move on.
Why is he doing it? Can't he think of England, the throne, Her Majesty? What's up with the lad?
The papers put her on the front cover. We can't have another Diana. Cut her loose, sort of thing, even though they're the people making her. Like, you know, like photographing her all the time, making her unhappy.
Someone here is making her a new Diana. I don't know who it is. Here's a photo of this new Diana that's being made by someone.
But when we eventually kill her, we are going to be so nice to her.
By God, once she's cold, you'll see some outpouring of grief and remorse from us. We will cash in year after year, day after day, on that poor girl.
Hello, satire.
Hello there, we can do satire, Armando Iannici. So,
Russell.
Yeah.
Talking of papers, you're in the paper.
Yeah.
Says you're...
Woohoo!
Listen to this. Russell Brand's having a glum time filming the St. Trinians remake in Hawaii.
I'm not doing that in Hawaii.
I know.
St. Trinians is set in England.
Locals
I've
there
already
don't
made
recognise him. The messy-haired comic, 31, moaned, I don't much care for this not being famous lark. I walk into a restaurant, no one notices, they just think I'm scruffy. Then he goes, I've started dressing a bit like Jesus in sandals, a white vest and linen trousers. Russell, pictured right, said, before revealing he does his own stunts as Flash Harry. I do horse riding, surfing, sexy... You'd think that they'd do the journalism and think, right, hang on, St. Trinians, why is someone in Hawaii doing horse riding, surfing and sexy dancing as Flash Harry?
George Cole never done that in St. Trinians. They've not pieced together the simplest facts there. They're daft, aren't they, bless them?
They don't try, do they?
They've listened to this podcast, thank God someone is, and they can't put together the most simplest of facts. Yeah, why would I be horse riding and surfing and falling in love with a beefcake in my capacity as George Cole's heir apparent? It just doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. Here, in this email, right, from Sue, who told me the tragic news about Prince William and Kate splitting up, it says the papers are saying it's because her mother is too middle class and uses words like toilet and pardon. Unless she's gone, oh, pardon, I've done a toilet on the Queen's settee. I don't really see a problem with it.
Hang on, what's so low? Middle class being too low?
Middle class being too low as opposed to too high, which is the typical experience of it. Yeah, it's bonkers, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, crikey, you're too middle class.
What are they meant to call it then instead of a toilet? A water closet or something?
I think you're supposed to. I think you're meant to just do this, like put your hand in your armpit and go, "Excuse me, Your Majesty, I've got to go and do a," and then go, "Pardon me, Mrs." and then just scamper off out the room.
Pardon? They go, Your Majesty, may I have your pardon? That's not a bad word.
Pardon? I don't know. When would you say pardon? What, after doing a belch or something?
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think that Kate's family, it sounds to me like they're little more than sort of Biffa Bacon's family. Just the yobs belching, farting their way through lives, thinking they're getting their hands on the crown, are not on your life. So, yeah, and also she continues to Sue, who's been bloody, you know, she's been like Reuters to me. She's a premium news agency, right? She goes, other news agencies are available. Goes here, Richard Gere has caused a stir in India by going up to Shilpa Shetty and kissing her in public. Is that true?
I don't know, I haven't heard about that.
Well, Matthew, what, have you been living in a cave, for heaven's sake? Richard Gere's staggering around Asia, snogging people.
Hang on,
and
how
you're
does
not aware
Richard
of
Gere
it?
know who she is since she was on British Big Brother?
He probably just took a like to her, didn't he? You see him in Officer and Gentleman, he couldn't get enough of it. He was all over everybody.
Hang on.
Breathless!
Wasn't Richard Gere in Pretty Woman the thing about a prostitute?
Yes,
With
so...
Julia Roberts. It's a bit like you and Casper, isn't it? You could find love with Casper, even though he's haunted, hoary little past.
Haunted whore horse Casper. Do you think I could somehow find love with that little haunted whore horse?
Yeah, put a little mini skirt on him, stand back to back, smile at the camera.
Put some leather thigh-high boots on him, then I'll turn up outside his stable in my limo. Woohoo! Daddy's here! And I've got some sugar lumps for you!
Oh, what a lovely image.
Maybe. What a beautiful world it is we're living in. Right, okay, so I'm here now with Peter Salette, who has done the soundtrack to this. We ain't done it yet because the film's not finished, but he's doing it and he's a musician. Hello, Peter, here with me in
Russell.
Hawaii.
Hello, hello.
Are you enjoying our radio show so far?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun to watch you do this.
Thank you very much. There is also an audio element to it that cannot be underestimated in this medium.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so, because otherwise I'm in chaos. Now, before we talk about you, let's talk about me.
Of course.
What have you got any radio programs over in America? What are like our one that we're doing now?
I don't think there's anything like you, Russell.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's
Yeah.
quite a
Very
compliment.
professional over there.
But yeah, I'm very professional. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not sort of a shambling sort of minefield sprint through taboo. Okay, so Peter, you're scoring this film. Have you scored other films in the past?
Yeah, I did a film called Down in the Valley, which came out last year.
That's got Ed Norton in it.
It's correct. That's
He's a
correct.
damn fine actor, that man,
He
isn't
He is, yeah.
And isn't he your mate and all?
He is, absolutely.
Is he
We grew
nice?
up together.
You grew up with him?
Yeah.
What's he like?
He's great. He's he's been amazingly supportive, which has been really nice. And
What do you mean, that he's carrying you through life? That Ed Norton?
yeah.
Nonsense! You're a brilliant musician! Here, do you reckon Ed Norton might come out here to Hawaii and see us?
yeah, I think he is going to come out to Hawaii and see us. Yeah.
Oh no. What if he don't like... Has he seen any of my, things, like me doing any acting or comedy or anything?
I don't.
he hasn't.
It's no. Actually, it's completely.
He might have!
It's completely hilarious that you would bring this up on the radio show because I've kind of been dying to tell you this.
Oh my God,
for a
what is it?
while, which is that I was over at Norton's place, where we were watching some audition footage.
Oh yeah.
And
What,
Norton,
audition for this film?
Yeah, and Norton loved your footage and pushed for you hard.
Did he?
Absolutely.
Ed Norton
Absolutely.
pushed for me hard. I
Can you
think I
believe
feel
that?
a new crush coming on!
He'll be here soon, and I don't know if he surfs, but
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he said, well, as you know, I mean, I've seen him in Fight Club, I've seen him in History X, I don't care what he does in the ocean. He's more than man enough for me, Peter. So, okay then, so that's, for people who ain't heard of you, because we ain't heard of you in England, what's your music like? Is it nice? Do you do nice records?
I make nice records.
You do?
Yeah, I make nice records.
I've heard some of your records and I like them. It's sort of singer-songwriter music, bit sort of Nick Drake-y, bit Neil Young-y, sort of nice, sort of soulful, beautiful stuff. Now you
Sounds better when you say it.
It does, doesn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
otherwise, if you say it, it sounds very arrogant. Although I can, without shame, go, I think I'm the white Richard Pryor. Look at that. I just said it. So, Peter, what's it been like teaching me how to do singing, which you have been doing for this film? 'Cause I sing a song in it.
It's been fun. It's been a trip. I mean, what's been great is because I'm not usually in the position of teaching someone to do something.
Right.
It's been great to actually watch you improve at singing the song that we've been working on. So.
Do you think that I could become a genuine pop star? Don't snort, Matthew! I've had enough with Casper snorting and bucking me around. I don't know how to put up with it from you.
I mean, if Paris Hilton can be a genuine pop star, I don't see why you can't.
Oh, that's
That
damning.
is a sort of insult. That was a damnation. A plastic, meaningless, talentless pop star. He means I could be.
Is that what you?
I don't want to be one of those. I'd like to be a good one, but anyway, I'm rubbish at doing all that stuff. But sort of, I'll be all right doing this song in the film, won't I?
Absolutely, you're gonna be awesome, man.
Do you think I'm pretty sexy when
think
I'm
I'm
doing my
pretty?
singing?
Do you think I'm pretty? Do you want to brush my hair?
Can I brush your your hair, then you brush mine, then we cuddle each other till we cry.
I wish everyone out there could see Russell as he practiced singing, specifically when you did the first go-around. The first day I met you, we got you in the studio to try and sing this song. It's a different song than the one, tried. And he said, Peter, could you come into the studio with me? And everyone else was out in the control room. I said, do you want me to be in there with you? And he said, I think that would be nice. So I get in there with him. Never met him before. He starts to sing the song. The next thing I know, he's emoting heavily with his hands down his pants. Yeah. 2 feet away from me. Yeah. I don't know if the cupping of the balls was what it took to hit the high notes, but
that was the way I was serenading you, Peter.
It was a great meeting.
I was adding an air of eroticism to the proceedings while doing that. Yeah, that was a nice way for us to meet each other, I think, Peter. Just the two of us in a studio, me cupping my own sweaty nuts, singing a very passionate ballad while looking in your eyes. And I also had to watch his lips to get the timing right for the song.
Yeah, that one was a little more complicated. Now, I think we can say the title of this one, the one you're going to sing.
It's called this song that'll be in the soundtrack of this film, because I have to, in this film, right, I'm playing an English rock star, right, not bloody George Cole. I'm not playing Minder, and also doing surfing and tennis and limbo dancing while being John Four in the Sweeney. I'm I've got to be a rock star and everything, and there's a bit where I have to serenade my girlfriend, and we sing this song, I sing this song called Inside of You, which you can clearly hear. It's got double meaning there. Hello, it's a little bit cheeky. It's a good song, it is. It'll be, you'll have to wait to hear it.
Russell, we do need to hear some singing, so why don't you do a scale or something?
Excellent.
There, Peter said it's excellent.
That wasn't a proper scale.
It's another hit, Pete. We've got another hit on our hands. Woohoo! It's Beatlemania all over again. Listen, why don't we listen to one of Peter's records now, and then we can talk more about me. Right, Peter, what is this record that we're going to listen to?
This one's called Fly, Sparrow, Fly, and it was the opening title of Down in the Valley.
Right, so this was off the soundtrack of this Ed Norton film, and I like that it's called Fly, Sparrow, Fly, because sparrow is a particularly English sort of a bird. Now, this is being played from the studio in Hawaii. All the rest of them songs come out of London. So this is even more exotic than you might imagine. It's a bit more mellow. So just have a little relax, and perhaps, like me when I sing, why don't you cup your own genitalia wherever you are in Europe and the world? Listen to Peter Salette's song, Fly, Sparrow, Fly... Oh, damn you, God! Damn you! It was such a good intro!
He's cupping his own balls as he's giving the intro.
That's what distracted me. I was getting a little bit aroused, and I forgot about bloody old language. Damn you, Noam Chomsky, you know nothing of the truth.
Noam Chomsky.
Oh yeah, we talk about Chomsky, baby. This is England.
Russell says his name sometimes.
Right, he's a linguist, and he doesn't think the government's very nice. Right, now let's listen to Peter Salette's record, Fly, Sparrow, Fly. Right, I said it proper. Go on then, Jesse. Peter Salette, Fly, Sparrow, Fly. That is dear Peter. What?
That was beautiful and really good and lovely. And it reminded me of Lou Reed, and it was pretty and lovely.
Yeah, could you hear me shouting over it?
Yep.
Oh, you're joking.
It's a kind of duet between a man who can sing beautifully and a weird English man who goes, "That's 4 minutes tops." 5 seconds, yeah. It's going great.
I'll tell you what, we could launch Peter in the UK. We could be behind it. Here, Pete, give us a card out, because I've helped in the dub. I'm very sorry about that, Peter, but I think it was lovely, wasn't it? It reminds you of Lou Reed. Yeah, nice. All right, so what? I made a mistake. I'm not perfect.
You made two mistakes all over the beautiful music.
The only mistake I've ever made is allowing you to be on this radio show. Where's Mr. Nibs? What happened to that dear boy? Where is Mr. Nibs? Is he all right?
He is also a little dried out keyring of a man now.
What's going on in that country? William and Kate are split up. Christoph's dead. We're number 3 in the pop charts. Come on, everybody, concentrate. I'm ruining Peter Salette's career.
2 minutes left of my career.
Anyway, that's off his album In the Ocean of the Stars. We've got to get that distribution deal in the UK, right? I don't know. Do we know how to do things like that, Matt?
Oh, yeah, we've been doing that for years.
Right, well, let it be done then. Let's find one for old Peter Salette. Right, so hold on a minute. There's stuff I want to blather on around about. What are you lot doing? There's people that are in the studio doing really weird gestures. Sorry for desecrating your song there, Peter. Oh, Peter's taken it in a very gentlemanly fashion. It was only a couple of interjections, wasn't it?
Well, it's good. It means that people can't rip it off and sell it online now.
That's true. It'll be the Russell Brand version.
Yeah.
Yeah. The song that we're doing on the soundtrack, it's sort of a slow sort of song, and do you think that I have that kind of soulful, melodic quality that you have to your voice, Peter?
God, what
when I do my singing?
compliment fisherman.
Well, when you have your hands down your pants, it certainly helps.
It certainly lifts things, doesn't it? Right, hold on, we've got some more emails here. Dear Russell and Matt says, Charlie, aged 13. Oh, Charlie, you little lovable scamp. You're a little of a boy. That don't matter, it's only a word, he'll be alright. My friends in my class have all heard of you and love you, but don't download your podcast. So can you help me to persuade them to download your podcast, because I can't do it myself? Oh, Charlie. Listen, Charlie, you can do whatever you want. You can achieve anything in life. All you got to do is believe in your little Mikey. We can... oh, really? Well,
It says, Russell, you have to be at the studio at this time. We're recording from... It's brilliant, this.
Although he's a little bossy, this guy. He's a little didactic in tone, telling me how and when to do radio shows. Still, nonetheless, yeah, but it's interesting then that it's come from Michael King, the twerp production assistant, who's dicking around with our radio show, because it actually says, I miss you, Russell. I spoke to Mr. Nibs on MySpace. He said he didn't know what interning meant, and I had to explain it to him. PPS, Mikey has a lovely, sexy voice. Can we get Mikey, our Scottish engineer, in the studio? Mikey, come and say some things into the microphone, you smug Scottish twerp.
What would you like me to say? Why don't we do what we rehearsed before the programme?
Why don't you say something along the lines of, I'm Mikey, I'm a shameless pervert.
I'd rather have a bowl of Cocoa Pops.
Oh, that's how the way we test the time delay on this show, right, is that
Don't tell people that, it's embarrassing.
No, it's not. It's brilliant. What we do is we use a phrase that we both know well, that we know the rhythm of and the timing of, and the only thing that we can ever think of is go, right, let's see how long the delay is, because I'll say something over here in Hawaii, you complete that sentence over there in London. Okay, here we go. I'd rather have a bowl of...
Cocoa Pops.
Good lad, Matthew. That means there's only a tiny little delay there, and we all love delicious Cocoa Pops.
Peter, when I said Cocoa Pops, did it sound ethereal and beautiful?
Did it have a certain angelic quality to it, Peter? Did it sound like Archangel Gabriel had come down from the Cloud Kingdom and sung a record? Did you like Matt's Cocoa Pops, Peter?
You actually want to respond to that? Fantastic. It was incredible.
Thank you.
It was beautiful.
Listen,
I've got other songs.
Let's just leave it with Cocoa Pops, Morgan. You're flying too high, boy. You're like Icarus. You'll get bored down. Your wings will melt. Yeah, okay. We've got some more emails and stuff here. This one's from someone calling himself Jess. And Jesse is the name of our engineer here in Hawaii, who looks to me, he's a lovely fella. I don't like to judge people, but he looks like he might take a lot of the old marijuana. Yes, he did nothing to deny it. That's an offence. That's a federal offence in the US of States. Okay, so here's an email from another Jess. He's angry about that. Jess, I'm sorry about this accusation. I'd like to take it back, and he's an innocent man at work. Hello there, Russell and Matt. I'm just emailing you because you said you were totally lonely. No, I'm not. I'm all right. And also to tell you that I live on your new road. Woohoo! It's an awesome road because I've bought a new house. Anyway, the reason you're hemorrhaging money into this house, as you recently said in your Guardian article, is because your builders never seem to work.
Oh.
They never work, my builders! Right, we've ratted them out! Do your jobs, you bloody builders! Right, they never seem to work. When Jamie Oliver was moving in here, Jamie Oliver lives down my street, that's good, isn't it? Because, right, Mockney Road. Alright here, Jamie! Alright, Russell, I'll do something.
Yeah, we're sorting it out, aren't we, living in Hampstead in £1 million houses?
Here, blimey, here, have a duck. Christ, do you remember the old days on Romford Market? I'll bloody stripe ya. Right, okay, then it continues. When Jamie Oliver was moving in here, Name dropping. Yeah, Matt, you've got a catchphrase because he's put name dropping, this Jess character. His
Name
builders
dropper.
His builders used to wash their cars. Yours aren't that bad, but your house seems to have looked the same for weeks. I'm not a strange house pervert, it's just a small road, as I presume you know because you're moving in. And there's a really cool fish shop nearby. What? I ain't vegetarian. If Christoph isn't really dead, there are heaps of cool toys and oh right, yeah, right, that's
fish
a fish shop. Oh, I'll get you, all right, dear. Sorry, old Nanny was a bit behind. Her pups are playing up. There's heaps of really cool toys and fish friends, maybe even a tortoise. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, I didn't know the shrine was such a high security place. Oh right, 'cause I've seen all the cameras set up around my house. That's
Really?
right. The shrine
cameras
must be
there?
safe. Yeah, 'cause it's got to be safe, ain't it?
Oh, right. I thought you were just living in some sort of 24-hour TV show now.
Yeah, why not? Well, let's get rid of that final shred of dignity that I've maintained. Okay, later on in the show, we'll talk to Tim Westwood, who's, we ransacked his buttons last week, didn't we? I'd like to... Oh, hello. I don't mind if I do. So I'd like to find out how Westwood feels about that. Is there anything you want to say to Westwood, Matthew?
No.
Like to remind him. Remember that time we were hanging out with him? We went round his house and that, and I pulled my trousers down.
Russell, pull up your, please, man, pull your trousers up, guy.
I remember when he said to
good.
me that he goes, I'm in my crib at 1 o'clock, I can't sleep, so I took some sleeping tablets and now I feel drowsy. And I went, alright, were they like, you know, special ones sort of thing? I thought he might have got them from a dealer. He goes, no, I just got them from my mum.
And what about that time? What about that time when we was filming with him, right? And he was just standing. We had to do this bit at the end of a little VT, videotaped item, where we all walked off. Me, Westwood, his mate Dre, and I think a couple of other people. The director goes, "Oh, just walk past camera in any direction you like." And like Westwood gestured towards this sandwich shop, which I believe was called something like Spencer's, right? And we were sort of going, "Oh, which direction should we walk off in?" And Westwood goes, "If you like, we can walk into Spencer's. After 3 o'clock, all sandwiches are £1." All sandwiches are £1. That's really good to have that voice, isn't it? Because when you've got that voice, sometimes you have to just be saying normal stuff. It's lovely. Like, what about that time, Matt, when we saw him, when we was down Carnaby Street, and he came over, and we had to do that hip-hop hug and everything, and, he goes, "Oh, I see you at this cafe. I come to this cafe quite a lot myself. They do porridge." It sounded really lovely. You gotta love Westwood, the big dog. He'll be coming on this show in a little while. We'll be having a chat to him. Matthew, would you like another musical choice?
Yes, please.
Right, go on. What are you gonna have?
Going
Is it
underground.
Peter Salette or is it me?
It's going underground, but could you just sort of MC over this by going,
5 seconds, chaps.
Yeah, I think what would really improve Weller's lyrics would be me going, "I can see a pelican out the window."
have you seen a pelican out of a window?
Nah, I see some turtles and that. Shall we listen? Let's listen to Jam. This is a Jam going underground. Russell Brand on Radio 2. That was the Jam going underground. You're listening to Russell Brand on Radio 2. Got some lovely emails here. This one's from Matt Linley, writing from Tokyo. "I think that the reason," says dear Matt, "that your podcast is no longer #1 is because you have now got an international audience. I listen to it as I ride the Tokyo subway every morning. As I'm squashed among the faces, chests and buttocks of early morning commuters." Sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Let's go to Tokyo. Sounds pretty wild. Just get greased up and ride the subway all morning. "Mainly salarymen and office ladies, I often find myself grinning like an idiot. How does it feel to have your podcast called?" And quite nice. I like it, that. Oh, and also, it's nice to hear Weller just then. Weller and Gallagher and the Mod Fathers. Oh, how I miss those boys. How I miss sort of indie Gallagher and the Mod Fathers. Oh, how I miss those boys. How I miss sort of indie rock music and mods and whatnot. But who have we got now on the line, Matt Morgan? Why, it's none other than the big
Tim
dog himself.
Westwood.
Oh, it's Tim Westwood. Westwood, hello there.
Yo, what's up, Russell? Nice to speak to you, my brother.
It's good to speak to you and all. I'm in Hawaii, of course.
Oh, no doubt, because you're big like that, and I respect that, man.
I'm glad that you respect the fact that I'm big. I'm not famous in Hawaii, Tim.
For real?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh, people ain't feeling you up there.
Man, they ain't feeling me, Westwood. They ain't feeling me.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's not a good look, man. But
It's not a good look.
I find those experiences, like, humbling, man. Sometimes when I go somewhere overseas and nobody knows me and nobody cares and no one pays attention and I'm just like this white dude in the club, which I get no action or no energy around me, it's like, yo, it humbles me, man. It really, you know, makes me realize what life would be like, you know, if I wasn't a DJ, and it scares me, and I get left in the morning early.
Yeah, that's dark. No one needs that, Westwood.
That, man. It really makes you just work hard, man, because you don't want to lose this little bit of shine that, you know, you can get.
Yeah, not only shine, though, is it, Westwood?
Right.
Sometimes it's a bit of how's your father, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know...
Sometimes it's a bit of the old monkey business, isn't it, Westwood?
No, my brother, I'm strictly in it for the music. I keep focused, man. That's one of the secrets to my success, man. I do it for the music, man. I do it
You are in it for the music. No one's disputing that. You are the most focused man in the hippity hop movement.
Thank you, sir. You know, it's easy to get sidetracked, man. It's easy to, like, you know, just to go out there and get confused. It's also easy, in my opinion, like, you know, to get a little gas, start feeling yourself, like, you know what I mean, get a little carried away with yourself.
It is.
Well grounded.
I get properly carried away. Hey, Westwood, what do you make of Matt being in your studio and tinkering with your buttons and sending you that answer phone message?
Yo, number one, I think he sent it to the wrong number because I never got it.
Bloody hell, you bungling amateurs. It's like working with the Three Stooges and one of them ain't turned up.
Exactly. So I really need to say, what message? And
yeah.
The other thing is, man, I'm really glad he's blasting off, right? Because in that studio, man, you can really blast off and do what you got to do on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
good.
I bet.
It's
Saucy devil.
Set free from Russell.
You see, the thing with that studio, it's got enough room for you to learn dance moves and dance steps and get up on your reggae game. Exactly. You can pull
There
up,
it is.
you can drop bombs, you know, bus shots, you know what I mean? You know, you can really get it going on up there. It's important.
Yeah, I remember when I was on your radio show, Tim, and I had to learn them dance moves. I think they were like the Crazy Frog and the Dutty Wine, I believe they were called. The Willy
and the one you
Bounce.
actually specialised in and really perfected and then performed on stage at the most ghetto spot of all was the Willy Bounce.
Yeah, and you said I was a ghetto superstar as a result of that, Mr. Westwood.
Ghetto celebrity, brother.
Ghetto celebrity,
when you walked
yes.
on there, they thought that people thought I had booked you through your agent. they didn't understand why your name wasn't on the flyer.
That is the quality of the moves I was dropping there.
Exactly, man. You were a ghetto superstar, dog, and your Willy Bounce game was strong.
My Willy Bounce game has always been perhaps the strongest part of my game, although I do sometimes cup it while recording.
It is a problem, but the Willy Bounce was in effect, baby, and, you know, you got a lot of respect for that, man.
Thank you very much. My Willy Bounce has often cost me respect, so it's about time it started earning me some. Westwood, have you got anything you want to promote?
Oh, man. You know it's going down every Sunday at 9:30 p.m. as we premiere the new episodes of Pimp My Ride UK, the brand new series. Now, this Sunday, we pimp a white van, and we do it up something crazy. And, you know, there's even a moment in there where I think you would approve, where I'm actually sitting on a toilet inside this van.
That sounds pretty damn sexy, Westwood.
Exactly.
Did you have your trousers and pants down?
Yeah, I was doing a number 1 and 2 at the time.
You are a beautiful man. There's nothing he can't do.
The things I do for Pimp My Ride.
The big dog on the ones and twos. Yeah, you'll stop at nothing. Westwood, thank you very much. Thanks for coming on our show, and thanks for promoting your stuff on our show, and thank you for letting us press your buttons.
Oh, Joe, anytime, Russell. You can come around my house and drop the bomb any time of the week, brother.
I'd love to, but I remember when I did come round your house and drop my trousers, you had a little panic.
Yeah, it wasn't right, Russell. It wasn't right. It was inappropriate.
It was inappropriate.
I mean, I think it's important to understand, you know, everyone listening now, it's okay to wear white fronts. It's still okay, because Russell wears them when he does the Willy Bounce.
I certainly do. Tim Westwood there. Listen to all the things he does. Watch the things he does that are visual, particularly him dropping ones and twos. Thank you, Tim Westwood.
Thanks, baby.
Hey, we would ask you if you wanted to make a request, but I don't know if we'd have it.
There's the brand new 50 Cent. Yo, man, I nearly had to sack Dre. Dre's my right-hand man. Like, I nearly had to sack him.
Why'd you have to sack Dre?
On Saturday, what happened? I was on the phone, like during the show, I had to take a call. I was on the phone, just, on the phone. I said, yo, Dre, put the new 50 Cent on. I was still on the phone, and like, he didn't know what to do because the track was running out, so he put on another 50 Cent, but it was 50 Cent in the club.
What's wrong with that boy?
Mixed on top of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas the Tank Engine? This has undermined you.
I came off the phone, and it was Thomas the Tank Engine playing with 50 Cent in the club on top of it. It was a terrible look, my brother.
That's a terrible look for you.
Oh, terrible. So it was like, yo, Dre, I think you're going to have to leave the building. I think you're out of here. But the response on the texts was intense. I think you really need to play that record right now.
What, Thomas the Tank Engine?
Yeah, with 50 Cent in the club. It's a go, baby.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll try and pull that out for you, Mr. Westwood.
Yeah, that's the joint I'd like to hear. Because Thomas the Tank Engine is big.
We're going to put that joint together.
Yeah, man. Turn that joint on, Russ. If there's one record I need to hear, it's that one.
Right, we're going to do it. Tim Westwood there. Thank you very much. We need it. There he is, Tim Westwood, everyone. Have we got Thomas the Tank Engine 50 Cent there?
Yeah.
Right, okay, well, we're meant to be celebrating England, but, Westwood is a great English... Oh, no, I mean Britain, Europe, but Westwood is a great English cultural icon, so let's stick on 50 Cent.
Let's just ignore his requests. He won't know, really.
That's true. How's he ever going to... Press his buttons. How will he ever know? I don't know. Let's put on his thing. Shall we? Come on, put his thing on.
Okay, you ready?
Right then. Right, this is In the Club, as requested by Timothy Westwood. There it goes. So that was going out to the big dog himself, Tim Westwood. That's Thomas the Tank Engine.
Funny, that, isn't it?
And 50 Cent. I like it. I mean, it's a glorious fusion of two worlds, Thomas the Tank Engine and 50 Cent, and perhaps it's best that Tim Westwood operates between those two opposing poles. Nice. He's a lovely guest, isn't he? He's very upbeat, isn't he, Matt?
He's a good man.
He's a very fine gentleman. He's a very fine Englishman, very fine asset to our islands. Okay then, so, right, this radio programme's nearly an end. It's been good though, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been fun. It's all right for you. You're in the evening. We have to get up like fishermen. Come and do this.
It'll do you the power of good, it will, to get up. But you don't like doing anything. You're a very lazy young man, Matt.
That is
Morgan.
not
You always
true.
have been.
That is not true.
Yeah, we've got to write a film now.
I've done one.
Right, we've got... What? Is it about me?
No.
That's no good then, is it? Well, look, I've got lots of opportunities out here in Hollywood now, so if we think of a nice film idea, we can do it. Why don't you send your ideas for films about old Russ to russell.brand@bbc.co.uk.
At Turtle Bay Resort.
At Turtle Bay, it's bloody lovely old Turtle Bay. Make me feel powerful with your emails. So yeah, or you can send it to russell.brand@bbc.co.uk or Turtle Bay. It's up to you, really. You are free people, do as you will. One day we'll overthrow the government and build a glorious empire. But for now, let's just trouble the reception staff at a holiday resort. Yeah, so think of some film ideas. Matthew, we better do one, because it'd be nice to be, in Hollywood calling the shots, wouldn't it?
Is this a production meeting or a radio show now? I'm a little lost.
Lost? Now there's a show. That works. I could play that tubby guy, but got thinner. He's a lovable character,
He does
isn't
need to get thinner, doesn't he? Because there was that problem with him still being a large gentleman. And it didn't make sense in the story. If he was stranded on a desert island, what was he eating?
I know, I remember you trying to make me ask him that question when he came on our chat show. You go, how come if you're on a desert island, you look like you're eating a herd of cows every half hour? Oh, what's happened to that polar bear? Did you put it in a sandwich? Oh, hey, come
Russell,
on.
You're going to be...
Whoa!
He's a hero in Hawaii. He married a Hawaiian woman because they were filming there. Do you remember that lady who was with him?
I like him. And
You've offended him. You should be made to go and live on the smallest island.
I'd like it there, because that's called Widdly Eye Chai Kikiku, and that's one of the nicest ones. Now listen, right, I like that bloke off lost, right? So, and how I express myself through humour and comedy. Everyone knows that. I do it affectionately, don't I? So don't judge me. Here. Guess what, right?
What?
Right, send us emails, russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. That's what I say when I think I'm not being professional enough. So, listen, right, saying
You
Captain
do some
old
funny
Russ.
gear changes, mate.
Yeah, well, I'm a funny man. Listen, I got
I'm not that
sunburned
sort of
out
funny.
here. Shut up. I got sunburned. I got sunburned,
Really?
Matthew.
Excellent. Go and play in the garden.
Bye then, Matthew. Here, I found another worm. Can I cuddle it? Can I put clothes on it?
I got sunburned. There's some content for you.
Shut up, because it was good.
Tummy ache. Bye.
Listen, I got sunburned, but in an amusing way.
Oh, please do tell us the story.
Well, it's a funny thing that happened. I was lying on a beach here in Hawaii where I'm making this film. I was there on the beach. Mike wasn't there that day. And Marsha, my assistant, who's meant to put suntan lotion on me, didn't correctly.
What?
It's part of her job
No wonder she
description.
nods. Earlier you thought she was nodding. She's just nodding because she's lost it.
You don't know, man. You weren't there.
rubbish on
You
me.
weren't there.
Marsha, the sun did it. You're burning me.
She didn't put it properly under my eyebrows, so I was wearing red spectacles, sun spectacles.
What?
You know how
Hang on, I can understand her putting it on your back, but on your face. She didn't put it under my eyebrows. You've got massive eyebrows.
She didn't distribute it correctly. I pity any
Is
man
that her
gets
there in the
involved.
background, wailing, laughing, chewing her
She's
fists?
giggling. She's giggling about her own incompetence. Now, what?
Rub it on, did it wrong.
What I will say is that any man that gets involved with my assistant Marsha is a fool. Anyone listening to this thinking of getting in a relationship with Marsha Brown, my assistant, is proper crackers because she don't know how to distribute cream over someone's face.
What did you do?
What I will say
Go
about
to
her.
her room, knock on the door, open the door. You've made me look an idiot. Look at my face. It's red. Under the eyebrows. Look at it.
Look at me! I'm wearing ridiculous blinkers. You've
I'm
made
allowed
an
to
idiot
pinch you now, Marsha, as hard as I like.
You can name a limb, but I will pinch it. How
Don't
can
believe me?
Mike...
Check your contract. There's a pinching clause.
Look at the pinching clause! Look at the pinching clause! How can Mike ever love me now? How will he ever settle for me? I look a complete fool, woman. So, yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
she really
it's a
does
very...
she put ice cream? She puts stuff on your face for you.
Yeah, why not?
Russell,
Who's else going to do it?
abuse of your staff.
My stuff. There's something slithering out. Poke it back in with a pencil. Oh, come on, it's all good, clean fun, isn't it?
Wait,
Right,
some
so,
bird in the paper says you're like a smelly Jack Sparrow.
How dare she? Who was it?
Cassie.
Fair enough, I did treat her very badly. She's her out of Wags, isn't she?
Yeah,
Footballers
yeah.
Wags or something.
She says.
Well, fair enough though, because that she's like when something's in my stand-up, I talk about that story she sold to a newspaper, and I have a quite proper old dig at her. She was a nice girl actually. I went round her family's house. They were all alright really. It's only a bit of fun. But anyway, Jack Sparrow, he's still played
Johnny
by Johnny
Depp.
Depp.
I know.
So a smelly version of Johnny Depp, that's alright. Johnny Depp who ain't washed his nuts. It's still bearable, isn't it?
Yeah, and you
Did
don't
you really
actually
be
smell.
sick then?
Who, me?
Thank you. Yeah, I just thought I heard someone stifling vomit.
Well, that's obviously
Perhaps that was
one
just-
of the women behind you.
That's probably the collective sound of a nation. So, alright, hold on. Why don't we listen to one more track, then we'll have a bit of poetry from Mr. G. We'll wrap up this whole crazy nightmare, shall we?
Okay, yeah, let's listen to Live Forever by our good friend Noel.
Yeah, let's listen to Noel Gallagher. I hope he's listening to the radio show. Noel, Sarah, your little baby, what you crying between you? We send you all the love in the world, and we'd like to dedicate your own song, Live Forever, to you, because that's the sort of pal we have. This is Russell Brand on Radio 2. Oasis, Live Forever. We've dedicated that to Noel Gallagher. It's his own song. We're dedicating it right and back to him. So there's a few things to wrap up. Apparently, Christoph died because of swim bladder. That's why Christoph, the fish that we rescued from Brum, died. Something to do with swim bladder. Long may he rest. Let's get more fish now. If you know we can get more fish to live in Wogan Studio, send information to russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. Also, the song Motorcycle Emptiness by the Manics was about a time that one of their motorbikes got nicked, we have learned. So,
how have you learned all these things in that song?
Because, Matthew, it's all there in the lyrics, and in Liam's particularly a charismatic vocal, you can find the answer to most of life's questions. Let's thank our guests on the show, the lovely Tim Westwood and his wonderful choice of track, the brilliant Peter Salette. Let's get him, remember, do we want to get him a record? He can get his own bleeding record deal. Is that our responsibility?
He's a very talented man, but we can help him.
He's a talented man. We can help him. Right, we'll try and help him somehow. Matthew, go and write a film this instant, laying around. I don't care what time of day it is, young man. You're squandering them gifts, interfering with yourself, seeing what you can fit under your foreskin. Go and write a film.
What?
Now, nothing. Now, to summarise this, brilliant piece of radio, why don't we get the poet laureate of this show, the fantastic Mr. G, to summarise the show and create some atmosphere for him? Woo, yeah, oh, Mr. G, yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Have you missed me, G? Have you missed me?
Yeah, I've missed you. Missed you.
Good.
Okay, this poem is called Let's Go Video. If they were to shoot a movie of your life, to whom would you assign the limelight? Or the soundtrack for the main actors as you shout lights, camera, action? The saga begins. Shh. The audience listens in, awaiting for the start of your drama to begin. Take 1. Serve God breaks off unrequited love. Christoph's whisked off to the heavens above. Sunburnt bruises, horse prostitution on heat-spotted page with a Christoph's whisked off to the heavens above. Sunburnt bruises, horse prostitution on heat-spotted page with a dodgy constitution. Take 2. As ball-popping Russell gets into tune. 30 seconds, G! Westwood's pink porridge is due! So can the video camera aperture ever truly recapture the cinematic banter of the talkative two?
Hey!
Mr. G there! It's all on the mic! It's all on the mic, though, isn't it? Okay, so what a fantastic show it's been. Thank you once again for everyone who's contributed. Thank you for listening. Thank you to the good people of Russell Brand FatandSite.com.
Thank me!
Matthew, you're such a lovely, clever boy. What endless talent, what rivers of talent are why I could surf on the ocean of your talent for an eternity, and I fall in love with you and you
Don't bring me into that world of you and Mike.
Come into the homoerotic cauldron of love that I'm stirring up here. So, okay, yeah, thanks everyone. Keep listening, enjoy the news, download the podcast, tell your friends, and remember to always slander The Apprentice and Scott Mills, who are truly evil.
Enjoy the news?
Why not enjoy the news? Get into it.
You
know, it's new stuff. Listen to the news with Andrea Simmons. Thanks everyone. We'll be here next week broadcasting from Hawaii with more beauty. Download the podcast. Bye, love you.
Miss you, dear.
Yes, miss you. Bye.